used to think that as a therapist, if I sat, nodded, looked back, and wrote down on my notepad, somehow I could hide of being an expert when really I was just a fraud. Today I'm exploring the question of how do we connect in human relationships? How does psychotherapy work? Why is empathy so hard to give other humans? And also the question of why is me being an expert of not being an expert a path towards finding myself and a path towards finding others? Today I get to dive into my shadow, the uncertainty, unfiltered, unedited. And I get to do that free of any perceived judgment, although feeling the shame. Definitely going to do it anyways. I think all of us are taught, I was taught, using the word I, in university, that I needed to be an expert therapist, that I needed some fancy interventions to be above other people, that there were the clients in the darkness and I was in the knowledge and the light, that I was the professional. I was the one in the fancy suit jacket and the degrees behind me, sitting in my leather-bound chair, pondering the human experience like I was a doctor who could case conceptualize individuals. I could figure out the questions to ask them to get to the places that only I knew how. Little did I know the imposter syndrome that I was just hiding, because in my light I was just hiding my darkness, and that wasn't healing people. I think that, the interesting thing in the field of getting taught to be an expert, to going to universities, to getting all these fancy certifications, all this esoteric knowledge that my clients could legitimately go on ChatGPT and just annihilate me when it comes to any tips and tricks and interventions I think that I hold. When we get all this at university, the answer is just basically right there. That what really heals people, every meta-analysis on the planet has said this, is the therapeutic relationship. But it's really deeper than that. It's human empathy. It's the ability for us as psychotherapists to diffuse power, for the client to come up and be the expert, and us to let go of our ego of knowing, let go of ourself, let go of the light to enter our own darkness. But none of the professors taught me how to do that, because they didn't know. They taught me the complete opposite. How to be above people, how to be a better expert, how to have more fancy interventions. When any meta-analysis on the planet that I read halfway through my career, before I crumbled, had said that it doesn't even matter what approach we use. If there was one singular approach that worked, we would stop creating new approaches to train it. The more and more I interacted with other therapists in the field, I just got this feeling that hits me that we're all running away from imposter syndrome. More training, we're told. That's what I was told when I used to practice ACT. ACT will make sense. You get over the imposter syndrome in 2 to 3 years. It'll just kind of go away. But all I was doing was being up top in the light, hiding my darkness, paradoxically helping someone else to look at my light, to give them more, and to never look in their darkness for their own light, for the client never to be the expert. It was always me being the expert, and that's why I was a fraud. But I'm not the only fraud that's out there, because it's crushing to come down from the throne that we actually know. No one changed or trained me how to heal people from above. I'm no man on the mountain with some esoteric Scientology sounding parts work that, some man, Richard Schwartz, somehow stumbled upon this holy grail, blending these ego state, family systems therapy, and psychodynamic together. He's not the second coming of Jesus, glorified life coach, as I was, as so many other people are. Again, it's not about being an expert that heals. It's empathy is literally letting go of our power to enter the world of someone else. And the reason empathy is so hard, yet we treat it as so basic, is hardly anyone does it. It's an illusion that I do it. I just get closer to it. Or I can let go of knowing to enter the world of not knowing, so that the other person can figure it out together with me. And the hard part is with this work is when you enter someone else's world without knowing the safety, it could change you. It can change the other person because you're just two humans. No one's darkness. No one's the depression or the anxiety. That's an illusion. We're both those things behind a mask of performing. to even, I think, let go, let go of empathy for me was letting go that I was somehow healed and other people weren't healed, and what healing actually was. For me, the only reason we have masks is because of shame, is that besides the diagnoses and labels we give each other, there's a deeper wound that we share. And it's the we're performing. We're all trying to be better on the outside, trying to cope, trying to numb, trying to live within the world in the light. And we have all the shields and the masks we need. But shame just buries our darkness, and that's what we carry together. That's what I carry. That's why I'm here, is to find myself, because self is only good, bad, all these labels, good, bad, extroverted, introverted, is just a mere comparison to the other. And so if we're all on the same journey of trying to find ourselves, we need to find the other again that'll help us see us. And that's why human connection, I think everyone is looking for. True human connection, because we're just such social beings. We see ourselves through the others, and the worst sentence we can give people is not death or torture, it's social isolation, social rejection. We just absolutely crumble. And that's what many people have said. It's psychotherapy, all it is social re-engineering, social healing. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to go towards the light, more fancy certifications to be more above people and more disconnected. I tell people I'm trying to go to the shadow because I do believe there's light there. And I think that's only a shadow because of the mirror and the shame that we all experience of the outside world. It tells me that I'm in the healed, that everyone else has made it, and there's only people who are broken who haven't made it. When there is no broken, because it's both. Someone told me the other day that they're convinced that also other people, mostly everyone, has social anxiety, and that checks out for me as I process it. Why wouldn't we all be anxious socially, fearing the worst is going to happen in social situations? From the way that I speak, that we speak, to the way we comb our hair, we dress, we're so socially conditioned. And so I feel like in these video series, as I'm just exploring it, it's scary as fuck, but I'm going to keep going deeper and deeper and deeper. And if you're out there and you're looking for a connection, just ask yourself why we're performing, why we're trying to go above, why we're trying to get above, why are we listening to people that are above? Because for me, the answer is they're hiding their shadows, as I was, training people, supervising them, thinking I was the Wizard of Oz and I know all this esoteric knowledge that I didn't. I don't. But the amazing thing is that through this profession, through human connection, through finding someone else, is you can get there. And so send me a DM. Let's have a conversation. Not on the stage of comments and, again, the shame and the performances we make. Just real human connection.